In today's video, I am going to be talking to you about when you want to, or what you really want to focus on when it comes to basketball. And I'm talking right now to the elite players, the elite of the elite. Basically, there's a lot of difference between a very good player and an elite player. And the difference is the mindset. What I'm trying to get to right now is the fact that of a conversation that I just recently had with a player who was looking at playing at the next level. I'm not talking about college, but I'm talking about a very high level high school experience. And they asked me if there's any girls at the school. And this one school that I was talking about, I said no. It's just there's no girls because the girls team is at a different location. And this is a prep school where at the location for the boys team, it's only the boys. The girls team is at a different location. And he said, well, how am I going to get any girls? And I said, well, to be honest with you, there's a lot of different ways of connecting with girls. You can connect with them online. But if you are going to be in school from, let's say, 7 a.m. until 6 p.m., and you're going to probably have at least 1, maybe 2 hours of homework at nighttime. And let's say you get home at 7 p.m. and that's going to be now 9 p.m. When are you going to be able to meet with these girls during the week? And he said, well, I've got a social life. I have to be at my friend's house at around 6 p.m. And that's when his parties start. And he parties every night, Monday to Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I got to be there. And I'm like, until what time? And he said, man, I got to be there until 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Then I'll get home. And I said, well, what about homework? And he said, I don't need school. And I was like, well, you just said that you wanted to make the NBA. You just said that you wanted to play D1 university ball in the States. Where do you think you're going to be? How do you think you're going to be able to do that without school? And he said, well, they always, I know because I know people who play pro and like, they made it because they said that they were just found because they were just so good. And I was like, well, where did they play? And he said, oh, well, they play over in Europe and one plays in the NBA G League and they just got seen because they were good players. And I was like, well, what were their grades like? What schools did they go to after high school and before they went pro? Because they obviously would have had to take at least some route through a university unless they just got super lucky and played maybe G League Ignite. They were maybe one of the top 3 players in the world. Well, who are they? And where did they go to school? And he said, well, one of the players went to Marquette and another player went to it was some Ivy League school. I can't remember which one right now. And I'm like, they had good grades. That's why. So, it's mindset. This kid is an amazing player. He could easily score 20, 30 points as a grade 11 right now at the university level. Easily. And I'm not even lying. But it's mindset. What gets players into a lot of trouble as soon as they may have these great dreams. And you may have these great dreams as a grade 7 or a grade 8 going into high school. And one of the biggest mistakes that I've seen many times before in the past is they go to a school and then they're like, well, I'm gonna go pro, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Because everyone tells me I'm gonna go to the NBA. But then what happens is they get caught up with bad influences. And the ones who actually go pro may not be the greatest players there. It's just because they had good grades. They had a good mindset of really trying to push themselves, and then they had the skill. You may be the greatest player in the entire world, but if you are not able to be able to navigate that gap between high school and NBA, you are not making the NBA. If you can't navigate that gap where university sits, you will not make the next level. It's just as simple as that. And if that is ultimately your goal, these are some of the things that you need to do. Number 1, you need to take university level courses. At least that's what they call them up here in Canada. Not too sure what the Americans call them, but we have we have basically walkthrough courses where that just gets you your high school diploma. We have college level courses that allows you to go to college, which is more hands-on. And then we have academic courses, which are basically the university level courses, the courses that are more book smart instead of hands-on. And coming from Canada, at least, you have to take those academic university level courses. You have to take those to be able to make the requirements for the NCAA. And you have to make those requirements to be able to play university ball here in Canada. If you are not taking those courses, you need to start. And if you are unable to because you haven't started taking those university courses, you now need to upgrade yourself through summer school. So, if you don't have the education backing to be able to make it to the next level, you're just not going to make it. And then it comes down to being able to really work on your time management. Because as we all know, if you are a basketball player and you are an elite basketball player, you are going to an elite school, which means that you need to probably be at that school at 6:30 a.m., 7 a.m., somewhere around there, maybe 7:30. And then you're going to be having an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours of practice. And then you're going to go to school. And then you're going to have a weightlifting. And then you're going to have another hour and a half, 2 hours, maybe 3 hours at night, depending on the school. You're not going to get home until late at night. And then generally almost every weekend you're going to have a game. Or maybe you might want to take that time on the weekend if you don't have a game and say, I need to catch up on homework. I need to work out. I need to get better at basketball. If you truly want to make the next level, if you truly want to make university or pro or NBA or whatever it is, your number one needs to be taking basketball and school as a full-time job. Anyways, I hope that this video has helped you. If it has, hit that like button and subscribe, and I will see you guys again in my next video.